I love when the truth comes out about people, and it's really nice with this little group because the truth is always coming out about them. So it's like a little treat every single time it does happen. Trigger warning for what I'm about to show you because it's a very severe case of Stockholm Syndrome. The whiplash energy in these videos.
Smile. I'd be careful that Black Bloc will go to the doxing route. I don't trust doxers.
So far, the only person who I have seen say they're scared of Eric is Aries. That's the only person I can think of who's actually said those words. I'm guessing what happened was Eric and friends realized that they were not able to manipulate Marxist cretin in red to do their bidding, so instead flipped on them when Hannah, before she had also explained in
audio, and it may have gotten lost in the audios, but like they chase predators off this app all the time. Like this is not their first go round, and so he explained to me that like it was contextually like all of their mains got banned the last time that they did this, and there was more cloud chasing than there is even this time. So the thing about him is obviously no one is perfect. Like I get that. He just strikes me as someone who's just really like emotionally tired. Like he fights a lot. He gets a lot of like full-on hard R responses to his shit. And I'm not saying that that's an excuse, but I am saying that I think that we can have a little bit of leeway for that. At least on my end, I can't tell anybody else how to feel. But somehow it got linked to an old accusation of him being an anti-Semite, and now there's people coming after him for that. I haven't gotten the full context of that. I just know that I don't want what we're trying to do to be detracted from by people who maybe don't support us in the way that we would like. And
there's nothing more canonically within white woman conditioning than thinking that somebody has permission to do lateral violence because they were called a slur. And that lack of nuance is exactly what Eric is relying on, because none of you actually listened to this video that I'm about to show you.
Guys get made up on the internet, right? I personally have never had the same lie told about me by what is it like now, like 70 different people.
So you tag yourself in a video on a troll account you created. You created that account to then make up another video full of lies to then be asked, hey, you should show those receipts, to then post this.
When I said like 70 people, I meant there's like a lot of times where people have
had what, Carly?
Like now like 70 different.
Wait a minute though. Let's keep that same energy with this one. From a comment you tagged yourself in, Carly, from this profile.
When I said like 70 people, I meant there's like a lot of times where people have had conversations with.
And that's my very great friend, Mr. Spirit.
Go back and watch that video. Did she say that he harassed 70 to 75 people on the app, or did she say that he sexually harassed 70 to 75 people on the app? Because I only heard the word harassed. So all of this is predicated on a lie. Eric accidentally left out some of his response.
Your life has to be garbage. And I'm sorry that your life is shit in Texas taking care of your poor disabled father. But none of this is going to make that.
Eric's not exactly gifted in proportionate response at all, is he? He says he knows he needs to keep his emotions. He really needs to do better about controlling his emotions. You're almost 50, Eric. You say that you have to compartmentalize, your heart from your brain to protect you or something. Okay, well then how come your feelings always get centered and nobody else is allowed to have feelings? If somebody shows too many emotions, then they're psychopathic. And if somebody doesn't show enough emotions, then they're sociopathic. And it's whatever fits in those little boxes for you. Perhaps the reason why you struggle with other people's trans identity so much is of how entrenched you are in binary thinking. Apparently, you really want to see my
care of your poor disabled father, but none of this is going to make that.
Eric's not exactly gifted in proportionate response at all, is he? He says he knows he needs to keep his emotions. He really needs to do better about controlling his emotions. You're almost 50, Eric. You say that you have to compartmentalize, your heart from your brain to protect you or something. Okay, well then how come your feelings always get centered and nobody else is allowed to have feelings? If somebody shows too many emotions, then they're psychopathic. And if somebody doesn't show enough emotions, then they're sociopathic. And it's whatever fits in those little boxes for you. Perhaps the reason why you struggle with other people's trans identity so much is of how entrenched you are in binary thinking. Apparently, you really want to see my face or you want to see somebody else's face. And my question to you is, once again, you're always asking the who, what, how, when, where, and why, but you don't really ask it for yourself. How would that help you? How would seeing my face or anybody else's face who you apparently really dislike, what does that do for you? What is the end game here? Once again, and I'm asking this to Hannah as well as you, Eric. Everybody comes forward. Hypothetically, every single person who you, as a little team, have actively harassed, and people that you've gotten evicted, even though y'all are still the biggest victim somehow. All of those people come forward and they say, you were right, and we're all wrong. And the people who are in black bloc politics, they are all the biggest victims, and everybody else was wrong, and we all just feel really sorry for them. The end game is pity. The W for black bloc politics would be being told that they are the biggest victims and they have been more traumatized than anybody else on this app or the planet, and they have been hurt more than anybody else on this app or the planet, and that's the win for them. That's what you want. You want to be the biggest victim. How does that serve you? Eric says that he's not letting up. And so I guess the person behind my accounts, I can't really tell what he's saying because he's the person who is harassing himself the most on his own burners, as I have shown many times. Eric is now saying that the only way to get him to stop, which stop what? Stop what? Nobody is scared of you. Nobody is scared of who your little group is or what's going on here. And nobody thinks that you're big, bad, scary terrorists. The only thing that you are known to be on this app are little shits. That's it. You're just little shits. Like, there's nothing big, bad, or scary about you. It's all just pure, unfiltered emotional immaturity and the inability to grow. And then, you as a group making that everybody else's problem. Okay, so you're not letting up. You're not gonna give up. And clearly the whole thing where Eric's like, I'm not gonna stop until I get a face-to-face with every single person who has vexed me or who I've perceived hurt me. Okay, so you ended up getting a lot of those face-to-faces, and you still end up harassing those people on your rounds whenever you run out of content and you realize that people don't watch you because you're not an interesting individual. So you have to do unhinged shit to get anybody to ride for you. But that's all you, bud. Apparently, you really want to honestly can't believe anything that comes out of your mouth. Like, I posted the comment responses letting Eric know that these pages housing information of him are not Marxist Creighton, but he doesn't really, he just wants to believe whatever's the most convenient for him. Now, his own burners that harass his page, his own burners are him, and there's been a lot of proof of that. My pages have content on them, so I'm a little confused about why they keep getting referred to as burners. I have a question for all of the comrades. Let me do my own little poll. So the end game, what is the end game? Is the end game everybody comes out and says, hey, you weren't the a-holes, we were all the a-holes, and now you are all the biggest victim. Congratulations, you are the biggest victims of anybody on this app. That's the W. That's the win, that you're the victim. Honestly, can't.
It's crazy to me that because you guys are in fights so much on TikTok, you don't understand the really fun features that are here. Because the voice that you're recognizing every time you say, this is definitely Caden. It sounded definitely like Caden. It's the literature voice. It's a voice filter. It changes your voice. and it exists right here on TikTok. And anybody who uses it, I guess anybody who uses it is going to sound like Creighton. Huh. Really putting it together today, boys. It's crazy to me that...
You know what, 83%, that does make sense that 83% of Eric's followers wouldn't listen to evidence or look at evidence and put things together themselves. 83% of people on Eric's page being incorrect about something sounds about right to me. You know what, 83%, that does, I make it a point to go into the lives of the people that you as a group are bothering. And every single person in this comment section has seen one of my profiles in those lives. So it just really feels like all of you are being dishonest for your own convenience. And it seems like that happens a lot. I make...
You have reached the Federal Bureau of Investigation, Philadelphia Field Office.
I don't know about you, but I personally don't trust anybody who utilizes carceral state violence to their advantage in a petty vendetta. If that's what you want to do, that's fine. But one thing I don't understand is why is Eric contradicting himself? Your life has to be garbage. And I'm sorry that your life is shit in Texas, taking care of your poor disabled father. No. Listen, she hated her father. She treated him horribly. In fact, so is she taking care of him, or does she hate him? Which one is it? Also, is she alive or not? I love how all of the content is so consistently contradictory that it's really easy to lay this stuff out. And I mean, you don't have to be a psychological expert to tell that this man really has issues with his parents. Also on the list, if you go to Eric's Instagram, he's talking about how Lola has been preying on him for like 62 weeks as well. So that makes a lot of sense. He's also speculating in his own comments, pointing fingers at this person and that person. It doesn't matter, Eric, because you don't know anyone. You don't know any of these people. And even if you did know them, you would eventually hurt them. And that's okay. They'll figure it out eventually. Hopefully just on the internet. Good luck with all of this, buddy. You really seem like you are genuinely losing it.